A few years ago, my wife and I decided one Sunday afternoon to visit a local garden, participating in the National Garden Schemes. It's always a slightly uncomfortable experience, as everyone else's garden is always better than yours. And at this one, judging by the historical photos, the owner had not only rescued the garden from what was an untidy mess to a real showpiece, but the house had also been restored to its original splendour with modern additions. What stuck in my memory was the little jokey signs he had dotted round various points that made us smile. However, the one I remember most was as you entered the kitchen from the outside for the requisite tea and cake, which read, "Everyone who enters this house brings happiness, some by entering, some by leaving." Well, quite by chance, a couple of weeks later, I attended a teaching session where you team up with a buddy, each read the same small passage of a selected biblical text, then take it in turns to tell each other what your initial thoughts and reactions were to the words you've just read. On this occasion, the passage was Luke 10, where Jesus sends 70 or more disciples out to the surrounding towns and cities to knock on doors where they will be completely unknown, without any means of support, no bag, no money or sandals, and you are to remain there eating and drinking whatever they provide. Well, I had to confess, if a stranger turned up on my doorstep in this sort of state, expecting this sort of charity or help, my reaction might possibly be one of suspicion, distrust, and thinking, this person is what I would colloquially call on the take and on the make. My buddy smiled and said, "You're seeing it from your skeptical Western point of view." He'd had some experience of living in the Middle East and North Africa, and explained that in that region it was, and probably mostly still is, the custom to welcome the stranger, let them shake off the dust of their sandals, provide food and drink, and generally be a generous, gracious host, irrespective of the guest's background or state. Well, it's very difficult to shake off that native cynicism as to how we welcome the stranger. We are comfortable with people who look like us, live in the same street or town, or went to the same school or university. Many of us may sometimes have an aversion to the person sleeping in doorways looking dishevelled with that unwashed odour, or begging for money, probably to fund an uncomfortable habit, and many other difficult situations that our fellow human beings manage to find themselves in. But there is an innate desire in many of us in wanting to support our fellow human beings, often by doing something tangible and practical. The Apostle James famously wrote, "Show me your faith without works, and I by my works will show you my faith." Well, circumstances at the moment prevent some of that, but what I suspect most of us miss at the moment is the inability to meet up with friends, relations, colleagues, and neighbours. There is nothing more powerful than that human presence, having that not so old-fashioned instinct to take the risk of being vulnerable to the demands of love, to those that need our care, irrespective of background. It's what transforms lives. Esther Ranson said a few months ago that texts and emails don't do it. So in the absence of physical contact, go that extra mile, pick up the phone, have a conversation, listen, be heard, instill hope and optimism, and yes, do give generously to your favourite causes. What really counts is a love for each other and how much we want to risk investing in each other. It's the essence of who we are. All human life is here to be valued and cherished.